Release the Kraken!
Nothing beats Liam Neeson saying release the Kraken dressed up as fucking Zeus. Oh my god. Oh fuck, that's classic. So now we've got another witness coming forward. So this one is a Colonel Phil Waldron. And basically what he's going to talk about is, well, he's an IT security specialist. And since August, he has been working on cracking the Dominion voting system to basically test its vulnerabilities. He's what's known as a white hat hacker. So obviously, sorry, I just got a bit of an itch happening. So you got your black hat hackers, and they're essentially the bad guys, and then the white hats are the good guys. So they're the ones who test the vulnerabilities to the system, and then they usually let the companies know what the vulnerabilities are. Okay, so he has been on the case since August, trying to test these systems, trying to find out what their weaknesses are. And this is basically what he's got to say. This is by far the scariest one that has come through so far. This is without a doubt, the worst one, like by a long shot, by an absolute long shot. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Mind if I can interrupt and ask him a few questions, can probably get it directed. It's good for me to do that because I don't understand it, so. I'm only kidding. Colonel, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, Senator, Colonel, and gentlemen, ladies. My name is Phil Waldron. I'm a retired Army Colonel, 30 years. Spent the first half of my career just like Colonel Mastriano here as a cavalry officer conducting armed reconnaissance, counter-reconnaissance. Last half of my career spent in information warfare as a psychological operations officer and information operations officer, conducted computer network operations, electronic warfare, special electronic warfare, deception, counter-deception, and OPSEC, and a couple other specialties.
So not much, really. No real credibility. Yeah, just a nobody, really. Just a nobody.
Sir, sorry.
You still got a Stetson in his purse. So I spent all of my time as an operations officer. My perspective looking at this problem set is how to break in, how to break it, how to destroy it, how to manipulate it. And my team has been researching this specific issue since August, but we're working with another team that's been intently working on this problem set, the voting machine manipulation, for 2 years, since the Ted Cruz and Beto race in Texas in 2018 and the Kentucky governor's race, where there were significant anomalies observed. And I'd like to add that there are many, many more teams like ours, small teams that have joined in this fight, and they're throwing the flag left and right. So there's a lot of folks who are recognizing anomalies. The voting systems in the U.S. And in Pennsylvania were built to be manipulated. They've been used in elections around the world and stolen elections around the world in Venezuela, Italy, Argentina, Singapore, Bolivia as close as 2 weeks ago. The Philadelphia uses ES and...
So all of those are his opinion. He does not present any evidence during this hearing to back that claim up. Now, that's not to say that when the senators leave this hearing that they're going to do an investigation and find this out. But at the moment, as of this hearing, there is no facts brought forward to back up what he just said.
Yes, Pittsburgh uses Dominion.
Yet.
Other counties in Pennsylvania use Dominion and other systems. So what's the real deal? So all of these election systems have a common DNA. SGO Smartmatic sold Sequoia voting systems to Dominion in 2010, and then
And if you remember one of my previous videos, there's actually the link that is put in there between Biden's transition team, the Coast Guard guy, I can't remember his name at the moment, going off, fuck all sleep, and he is linked to Smartmatic. So one of the guys, he's the chief chairman of Smartmatic, and he's one of the lead members of the transition team for Biden. So there's a direct link between the voting system and this guy and Biden. That is ridiculous. That should never occur. Go back, watch that video, and I'll link it all there.
The company spun off Premier Election Systems to Dominion as a result of an antitrust suit. So the bottom line is that these systems have similar code and similar functions. And just so you know, I know there have been statements to the contrary, but I personally debriefed the son of a Cuban intelligence officer who had firsthand knowledge of Hugo Chavez's family members who told him not to worry about the populist threat against Maduro's election in Venezuela. Quote unquote, that it was guaranteed. Their father invested the money to build the SGO voting machine system. So I have no reason to doubt this gentleman. He's
okay. Again, he's not presenting the guy's name. The guy hasn't come forward and said this. We're hearing this third hand, okay? So again, no evidence, just another claim, although quite a serious claim.
Sworn an affidavit to this effect. But that's the root of the...
That's good that he's sworn an affidavit, but what would be better is if he was there in person, being the one talking right now instead of you, okay? Him telling you to tell us, I mean, it holds less credibility when it's bouncing through that many people. If it's coming directly from him saying, yes, we've used the systems for this, holy fuck, okay, that's serious then. But, you know, third hand, it loses some credibility.
The SGO voting machines. So these systems are not what you've been told. They are connected to the internet and servers outside of the U.S.
That is the dumbest fucking shit you can do. Why the fuck would you allow any voting machine to be connected to the fucking internet? Do you know how fucking stupid that is? Whoever's idea that was should be fucking charged with treason. What fucking human being doesn't understand that if a computer is plugged into the internet, that computer can be accessed by anyone that knows what they're doing? It doesn't matter what type of computer it is. The instant it is on the internet, it can be hacked. The instant. So whoever the fuck thought it would be a good idea to put the voting machines for the US presidential election online should be fucking tried and hanged for committing treason. Holy fuck. Who the fuck approved that?
Connected from top to the bottom.
That's so fucking dumb. That's so fucking... What the fuck do you think is going to happen as soon as you connect it to the internet? What do you think's going to happen? Nothing. Of course something's going to happen to it. Of course something is.
In the middle. There is no transparency, as our previous witnesses mentioned, as to how the voter information is processed, how and where it's stored. The voting record is able to be modified and or deleted by operators, administrators, and outside threats. Operators can assign votes for write-in ballots, blank ballots, or error ballots in large numbers so that they can be directed toward one candidate or another at the operator's or supervisor's discretion. And many experts have published how easily these machines can be hacked to manipulate votes. As a matter of fact, one of our white hat hackers previously discovered a malware that's present on the servers that captures every login and every password of every operator down to the precinct level that logs into one of these systems. That's just like giving the password to your bank account out, putting it on the dark web. It's not going to be there very long. And just so you probably are all aware, on 30 September, an election storage facility was robbed in your state. 30 USB devices were stolen and a laptop. Those
What? Bullshit. Bullshit. Someone broke in and stole a fucking laptop along with the fucking memory cards for the voting machine? Are you shitting me? Are you actually fucking kidding me? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? This is it. So, there you go. Wow. It, being the laptop, and the USB drives were the only items believed to have been taken. You know, it's like they're trying to downplay it. It's like, the keys to the kingdom were the only thing stolen in the kingdom. Okay, that's a pretty big fucking issue. Hang on just a little bit. We are confident, said Nick Custodio, and a deputy to Lisa Dealey, chair of the city commissioners who oversee the elections. Quote, that this incident will not in any way compromise the integrity of the election. Yeah, righto. Someone with the computer that can change the memory cards information, and the memory cards aren't going to affect the election. Who are you lying to? Because you're not lying to us. You might be lying to yourself, but you're definitely not lying to us. Jesus Christ. That is ridiculous. I think we need to have a little conversation with Nick and Lisa and see if we can get them to say that again, because I doubt that very fucking much. That this incident will not in any way compromise the integrity of the election. No, they've just got the laptop that has the ability to change the votes, and then they've just got the devices that you can put the votes onto. Yeah, no one's going to do anything nefarious with that. Yeah, that makes sense. What the fuck? I shouldn't be laughing because this is fucking serious. But at the same time, like, how fucking dumb do they think we are? Holy fuck, man. Who are they lying to in that statement? Who's believing that? Who? Nobody. Nobody's believing that. No one. It makes no sense. How could they think that that's gonna land with anyone? Who's sitting there going, oh yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. They wouldn't do anything with that. It's not like they could take over the kingdom with the fucking key to the kingdom. Fuck, that's so dumb.
Those USB devices more than likely had encryption devices, and you've just heard another previous witness talk about the non-standard use of the USB storage devices. So these systems, in a nutshell, allow authorized and unauthorized users to cancel votes, shift votes, preload votes, vote blank ballots, all in real time and in large numbers. They're connected from the top to the bottom. So one bad actor or a team of bad actors can have equally negative inputs. It's been described by another person in another state that we're working with, just like the lotto. Whoever organizes the lotto is always going to win. It's controlling the numbers and it's controlling the margins. Our experts and other academics believe that up to 1.2 million Pennsylvania votes could have been altered or fraudulent. This is what we discovered in the last 22 days. Really, only a detailed forensic analysis of the actual machines and software will truly show how many Pennsylvania citizens have had their civil rights violated. So to use these type of machines with little or no audit trails, little or no transparency of how the votes are processed, where they go, where they're stored, will never leave the public satisfied that we truly have a representative democracy.
I mean, it's pretty sus. It's pretty sus there's no paper trail left behind. It's pretty sus no one knows what the fucking order of the ballot is, like where it goes, what its life cycle is. You know, it's sus. And as soon as it's sus like that, with something as important as the presidential election, of course that's going to piss some fucking people off. Of course it is. People want the safety and security to know that when they vote, their vote counts and their vote matters. They trust the system. And when you have a system that is this foobarred, you immediately stop respecting it, and you lose faith in the system when things are run this badly. So of course people are going to lose faith. Why the fuck would anyone keep faith after seeing how shit this system is run?
I'd like to correct something the mayor said. I am not a statistician. I'm a combat officer and didn't do well in math. But I can understand the numbers that he put out earlier. Want to share with you one chart. I believe it's in your pack.
I've tried looking for this graph. I'm sorry, this is the best quality we can get of it. It doesn't exist on the internet. If it does, link down below. If someone else has found it, I've looked. I can't find it. I'm sorry. I tried.
What our team has done is focused on the spike anomalies. And these are events where a numerical amount of votes are processed in a time period that's not feasible or mechanically possible under normal circumstances. I believe Greg Stenstrom mentioned earlier the processing of these ballots through machines. There's a manufacturer's specified rate of speed that a number of ballots can be imaged and processed. These spike anomalies in this chart really show where for us to look forensically to actually determine what happened with these votes. Our team has looked at these systems, and there are a dozen ways to interdict the voting process in these issues, whether it's mail-in ballot manipulations. They can scan and allocate votes, blank votes, whether it was the 70,000 votes left in the back room. There's just lots of ways to interdict these systems. So with that, I'll answer any potential questions.
Thank you. Next panel, please.
Could I just
Yes, sir.
ask him to clarify one or two things? When we look at this Pennsylvania fixing the vote chart that they all have, could you explain at the very beginning what that line means, Biden injection?
So at the very beginning of the chart, where there's a circle, it says on election day. What that indicates is there is a spike in loaded votes, 337,000 plus or minus some votes that were added in there in one big batch. So that was an anomaly in the reporting. Normally you would expect to see a smooth curve going up, not any big spikes. That's kind of what Greg was talking about, the anomalies of loading and uploading those votes. So that big spike that occurs there is a prime indicator of fraudulent voting.
And that's 604,000 votes in 90 minutes, is that right?
Correct. This is 337 votes, 337,000 votes in that
period of time.
Yes.
And when you look at this entire curve with all these spikes, can you calculate how much of a vote that accounted for Biden and how much for Trump?
Close to 600,000. I think our figures are about 570 some odd thousand that all those spikes represent over time.
For Biden?
Correct.
And how much for Trump?
I think it was a little over 3,200.
How about that? Nothing sus. That's completely normal. That's completely normal, yeah. Yeah, 570,000 votes. All spikes as well. Now, this is the question no one's asking. Does that mean Trump faked it as well? Because he has 3,000 votes? Maybe Trump rigged it too. 3,200 votes. A spike 3,000 votes. Oh, he's clearly up to no good, that Trump fella. Fucking hell, are you kidding me? 570,000 votes taken in faster than the system can actually physically take them in? What the fuck? Clearly it's a fraud. Clearly it's fraud. Why the fuck were these votes counted? Surely the system would have something built in, whereas if you see the spike and it's more than the machines can actually fucking count with physics, then surely those votes would be fucking not counted. They would be removed off. Right? Right? What the fuck? 570,000 votes? What the fuck, man? This is ridiculous that they even have to sit in front of the senators and explain to them that this needs to be investigated. It shouldn't have to reach them. It should go to someone and they say, oh, there's a spike there, that's fake. Get rid of those votes. Like the end, right?
Now, just to go back to your original document, this one pager that they all have. Mail-in ballots counted without being observed. Those are the ballots we were talking about that were not observed in Allegheny County and in Philadelphia.
Correct.
Is that right? 682,770. Now, this is the part that is a mystery. Mailed ballots sent out, 1,823,148. But when you go to the final count of the vote, there are 2,589,242 mail-in ballots. What happened? How do you account for the 700,000 mail-in ballots that appeared from nowhere?
What are you, a fucking idiot, Giuliani? Clearly, 1.8 million votes were sent out and they received 2.7 back, 2.5 back. What's wrong with that? What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, going into this, sitting down and watching this hearing, I did not think that they were going to have this much shit. I put the Kraken thing in there as a fucking joke. Okay? Now, we're finding out this amount of fucking evidence. Now. 22 days later. What the fuck? Why wasn't this stopped immediately? Who the fuck is in charge of the voting system? Why does it have to go to the senators of the state to do something about it? Surely there should be systems built in, safeguards built into the system so that when they send out 1.8 million fucking ballots and they get 2.5 million ballots back, that those ballots don't get fucking counted. Jesus Christ. Surely when they check the voting system and they see spikes of 570,000 ballots that couldn't physically be counted in time and they appear up anyway, surely there is systems built in to not allow that shit to happen. What the fuck? This entire thing is a fucking sham. Holy crap.
So our
Wow.
cyber team uses white hat hacking techniques. They gather a lot of publicly available information, and that information was from the Secretary of State's website. That website has been updated as late as 11/16 this morning with provisional and mail-in ballots, so those numbers are still changing. They changed last night, so it's
It's still climbing. Why is it not cut off? I honestly don't understand. If anyone can enlighten me, please put some fucking comments down below. I will check them. And hopefully someone can educate me on why the fuck they're still receiving votes. That makes no fucking sense.
annual target.
This is 22 days after the election.
That number, the
Right.
The 2.5 million number is no longer on the website.
Just been taken off?
It's not there anymore.
Is there any explanation for why it's been taken off?
There was no annotations.
But has there been a change made in the 2,589,242 mail-in votes that have been counted in the total vote?
I'd have to check the Secretary of State's website as of.
And could you also
after
check and see,
11/16.
is there any change in the 1,823,148 ballots that were sent out?
The mailed-out ballots number seems to be holding steady.
And was there any other method of producing ballots other than sending them out?
Not that we're aware of, unless as previous witnesses of testimony that the potential for multiple ballot counts. So ballots.
Yeah, Giuliani, they can just pop out of nowhere. Didn't you know that?
And have you ever gotten a chance to examine any of these ballots?
No, that would be part of the forensic process. One suggestion, whoever does the analysis is using paper and ink analysis with a micro photo spectrometer that would analyze the ink on those ballots to see if they were mass produced.
So in addition to the 682...
If there's any fucking left, okay, I'm gonna, put money down to say those votes, those ballots, are going to be destroyed very quickly, and there's not going to be very many fucking ballots left for a fucking recount. That's my sneaking suspicion of what's going to happen here.
1,770 ballots that were entered without a single inspection of any kind. There also appear to be something like 700,000 ballots, mail-in ballots, that were never sent out, that were counted.
There are noted discrepancies in the Secretary of State's
Pretty big
report.
discrepancy.
Yes, sir.
And that's been there.
Thank you. We do have to press on to the next panel since we have a lot of questions.
Fuck me. What a absolute farce. What an absolute fucking farce. Wow. I'm kind of speechless at the end of this one. I've been a bit talkative at the end of the other ones, but this one, like, holy fuck, man. I'm going to be very interested to see the evidence that these senators pull forward after leaving this hearing and going and doing these investigations based on what this guy has said. Like I was stopping throughout the video and saying what he's, just saying and not actually producing evidence for. Fuck. Once we see that evidence, my mind is going to be blown, I feel. God damn, this is nuts. That everything this guy has said makes the entire election false, at least in Pennsylvania. So, I mean, fuck, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Are they going to have to everyone re-vote, or what the fuck? I honestly don't know where they go from here. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't even know what to predict what they're going to do. But fuck me, that's so fucking dumb. Fuck, that's dumb. All right, that's another one done. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share along, and we'll see you in the next one.